I'm standing on court 1 at Greenwood Tennis Center. This is where Radhika Babik played her last game as a player at Oklahoma State University. Now, as she transitioned into a non-playing role as a coach watching from the sideline, but still, the players at OSU still think her as a teammate. After losing 5 of the last 7 home games, Oklahoma State might be glad to be on the road against Kansas State. The Oklahoma State men's basketball team entered the season with no 4-year seniors. But a group of leaders emerged when the Cowboys faced Ouachita Baptist in the home exhibition game today. Student is the one who brings rowdy to each home game with just a bucket like this. However, you might be surprised to find out who has the idea of forming the Orange Outlaws.
One word for my whole experience is probably amazing. You know, playing here for 4 years was definitely the best thing that ever happened, and just having the opportunity to come here and do something I love and get an education was definitely a dream come true. My name is Vladica Babic. Currently, I'm the student assistant for Oklahoma State women's tennis team.
After her last season at OSU, Babik chose to stay in Stillwater for 1 more year, this time a coach.
It wasn't just one day that I woke up and I said I want to be a coach. You know, seeing Chris, the impact that he had on me and the impact he has on other girls on the team, I think that's something that was really inspiring. And I wanted to help other people overcome their struggles and just learn and grow.
Babik's experience as a collegiate player and a professional player comes in handy with a team featuring 3 new players.
I always try to, encourage them to have fun and to enjoy what they're doing, enjoy the opportunity they're having right now, because in a few years it'll be over, and then I want them to look back on it and say, oh, this was an amazing time.
That's something that we give every one of our players, the opportunity to continue to train here once their career is done, continue to base out of here for their professional career, and if there's opportunities to help out with the team, obviously that's even a bonus.
I'm standing on court 1 at Greenwood Tennis Center. This is where Radhika Babik played her last game as a player at Oklahoma State University. Now, as she transitioned into a non-playing role as a coach watching from the sideline, but still, the players at OSU still think her as a teammate.
So I think the transition of them seeing me as a coach, it wasn't very difficult. I think that first and foremost, they see me as a friend. And I think that as a coach, that's something really important. I think it's important for you to develop a good relationship with a player.
I still see her as Bloody, like for me, it's like nothing like especially changed for me. Like when she was a player, she will help me a lot. She can bring me a lot of like confidence because she talks to me in a way like I find helpful.
I think she brings the cowgirl legacy on the team. Like she keeps it. Like she sometimes like shows us through actions rather than words, what we should be doing or what we could be doing better.
As the season comes to a close, Babik says she wants to enjoy the last ride before moving on to professional career.
This job has a lot of challenges with it, but I've been really happy to be able to spend this time with the girls, and I'm just hoping that we get, a lot of memories towards the end, and that they can have the best season ever, and that I can be there by their side.
This season for the Oklahoma State soccer team is special. Not only are they playing in a new stadium, but they also have a new fan group that is bringing energy to every home game. The north side of Neil Patterson Stadium has become the rowdiest place on the pitch. This is the Orange Outlaw territory. The Orange Outlaws are the newest fan group that can be found supporting OSU Athletic at major sporting events. The Battle People have taken over the student section in football, and Gallagher-Iba is one of the rowdiest basketball arenas in the nation. But what makes the Orange Outlaws special is the style they bring to Neil Patterson Stadium.
This is supposed to be more of like the voice of the people, so you hear that going on, like singing almost, and like that's just always been the tradition of soccer. It sounds really pretty whenever you have 100 people singing it, just because it's like this unity.
And then the drum came about because we needed some, we felt that like the chants weren't enough. You can't just have chants then dead silence. So we said, hey, can we get the drum? And we talked to some people, and we were able to borrow the big boy drum, and it worked really well.
The student is the one who brings rowdy to each home game with just a bucket like this. However, you might be surprised to find out who has the idea of forming the Orange Outlaws. Such architect is Coach Colin Carmichael.
Yeah, we with Coach Holder and Mr. Patterson and everybody were getting together with the stadium. We talked a little bit about the atmosphere at the Sporting KC MLS team. They have the Cauldron up there, and it's a supporters group, and it's awesome.
The Cowgirls are undefeated at home this season, winning all 5 of their matches thus far. Coach Carmichael credits the Orange Outlaws for their electric atmosphere that has become contagious at OSU soccer matches.
But when you've got a great atmosphere, number one, it boosts your team a little bit, it gives them a little bit more confidence. And then number two, it can affect the other team negatively. It can put a little bit more pressure on them. So yeah, I'd say the atmosphere that those guys help to generate in the stadium definitely helps us win.
Junior defender Ellis Horn tells us what she thinks of the Orange Outlaws and what they bring to Cowgirl soccer matches.
You know, if we're like dragging on, the game is getting intense, like both people are fighting, it's that extra 5%. It's that if we hear their chants, we want to go, that gives us a little bit more energy than the other team. So they're everything to us, and we appreciate everything that they're doing.
Having taken over Neil Patterson Stadium by storm, the Orange Outlaws have become pretty popular among OSU soccer fans. Now, they're hoping they can keep contributing to the success of Cowgirl soccer at home for years to come.
I expect it to go nothing but up. How much support Coach Carmichael and the staff have been contributing to us as well. I think there is a hunger for it, and people just don't know it yet.
For the Pro Report, this is Nhan Doan. January 27, 2001. The day that changed the Oklahoma State basketball program forever. 18 years on, OSU family gathered together on every third Saturday of April to celebrate the lives of people who have lost. The run has been held continuously since 2007. This year, the race attracted more than 1,400 participants who come and show their support to the lost one.
The best thing for the family members is that everybody wants to know that their loved ones that have passed will be remembered, and this run does establish that. People are remembered.
The run has grown throughout the year, and this year, it has become an official race in the competitive calendar. But Alexander says the most important thing is to educate people on the legacy of the 10 victims who died on the plane crash.
Students that are 18 right now would have been barely born at the time of this plane crash. We're able to educate them about the men we lost and also educate them about the importance of remembering those who've died.
Among 1,400 participants in the race were families and friends of the 10 victims who died in the plane crash. For one particular family, this race is much more than carrying his name legacy. Will Hancock, a member of the Cowboys media relations staff, was among 10 people who died on the plane crash. His name is now being credited with a scholarship award. Karen, his wife, says she considered the run as a way to celebrate her late husband's life.
I always view this run as a celebration of his life, and it's really great to get family members coming in and we all gather and just really celebrate who Will was, what he was about, and what a great guy he was.
Awards are given to the fastest runner of the race, but the run is meant for much more than that. It's a way to remember the 10. For the Poke Report, I am Nhan Doan. After 2 conference victories, OSU faced up against Texas in the match featuring 2 major title contenders. Taking the most of the home field advantage, OSU was the first to break the deadlock. In the 23rd minute, UT defender Arthur Machado scored an own goal when her clearance attempt went straight into the Longhorns' net.
It was kind of on our scout and on our film to test the keeper, and we weren't sure how good she was, coming off the line and stuff. So I think that's just what we try to do. Full execution of what we talked about, and just taking film and doing it, talking about it and then putting it to work on the field.
After the opening goal, OSU controls the match and looks to double the advantage. However, all the chants went begging, and the Cowgirls had to pay the huge price for it. Longhorn striker Sierra Hidden beat Danny Greenlee, who came out of the line, and her prayer was answered as the rainbow chip slowly rolled into the net in front of the shocked OSU crowd. With the clock ticking down, the Cowgirls trying to find the winning goal. They almost got what they wanted when substitute midfielder Ali Jackson reacted first to the loose ball. However, the goal was disallowed after the referee deemed that Jackson had fouled the keeper.
You put the ball in with a minute and a half left, you think you're going to win, but it was called back.
1-1 remained the final score, with both teams couldn't find a breakthrough in the extra time. 2 days later, the Cowgirls headed south for the reverse fixture of the Bedlam Series. The first hour of the game was uneventful, as both teams were too respectful to each other. The game finally got going, thanks to a moment of brilliance by Hayley Woodward. However, OSU couldn't protect the lead. 6 minutes later, Emily Parker was the first to react from a loose ball to send OU back into the game. With both teams preparing for their second extra time in as many matches, OU stole the win in the final moment. OSU defense couldn't clear the ball, allowing Christina O'Donnell to score the winning goal.
It wasn't good enough, to be quite honest. You know, we've had 2 games this year where I felt like our energy levels and our enthusiasm weren't good enough, and they happened to be 2 losses for us.
The Cowgirls will try to bounce back of a disappointing weekend with a home game against Texas Tech on Friday. For the Puck Report, I'm Nhan Doan.